What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore, and holy smokes, do we have an incredible release here. Now, this came out late last year, not even that late actually, it was like late August, so in the final third or so of last year, but I wasn't aware of it until about a month ago, at which point I immediately ordered it. And we're talking the latest final release from Cenobite. Again, I won't continue to repeat myself in Cenobite related reactions, but it's one of my all-time favorite hardcore labels, one that I did know and consider or view very fondly even back in the day when I wasn't buying as many hardcore records. And, you know, just to briefly tell that story again, when I got turntables in the late 90s, 1998, I was trying to buy acid trance and acid techno, as well as, you know, some Goa trance and so on, and I did buy maybe a dozen hardcore records, a few of which I still have, but ultimately, you know, I was young, I didn't have unlimited resources, and I just had to like focus more on trying to buy acid techno and acid trance, because those are really the genres that I wanted to, you know, mix at parties and make mixtapes of and so on. And hardcore, I enjoyed it, but it was more of like a secondary interest. And then again, maybe like 2015, 2016, for some reason my brain just really clicked in and I wanted to hear more and more hardcore, especially like early hardcore, like 90s, like Gabber style. And indeed, I remembered Cenobite, and I've since, you know, reconnected with the label and have come to view its atmospheric, acidic, psychedelic type of hardcore as maybe my favorite variant of old school type hardcore. So that's a long way of saying that anytime they come out with a new vinyl release, it's like, oh my god, I have to get it. So again, when I learned of this, I very quickly purchased it. And indeed, all 4 tracks on here are by artists that I'm hugely fond of. And we've got Slugnoid, we've got Danytribe, we've got Formek, we've got Arjuna. So again, these are just all of my favorite artists. I do have to point out Arjuna is here by virtue of a track that he made, but it is actually the Twins Artcore remix, and that's the one we're going to start with. Ultimately, I've heard the Reggae Twins the most of all, and it's like Reggae Twins, like the way it's like written like raga, you know, like the subgenre. But ultimately, I do believe that's based on like the guys that they got the sample from. In any case, that's the one that I've heard the most. I have, however, heard this remix, and what I remember hearing it when I learned of this release is that it's a bit slower. It's maybe not quite down-tempo hardcore, but closer to that tempo than to your typical, you know, early hardcore, you know, 180, like, you know, pushing 200. But ultimately, it definitely has wicked acid. Like, the acid is the main feature. So join me as we listen to the Twins Artcore remix of Arjuna's Totally Lost It. And I have to point out, in fact, is it Totally Lost It? I'm Totally Lost. And the reason I said Totally Lost It is because I have a Hard House record, again, probably from 98, 99, something like that. And I forget the artist, it's on Phoenix Uprising, I remember the label, and it's called Totally Lost It, and it features this same sample. So clearly it's like a classic sample that, you know, I don't know the original source of. I doubt it's that Hard House track that I have, but either way, yeah, it's just Totally Lost here. And again, it's the Twins Artcore remix of the Arjuna original. Pretty haunting track to end the set with. I'm going to look it up now. I want to say my best guess is Barbados and OD1. And we'll see if I'm right about that, but I can look up in Discogs through my collection. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's that Hard House record, because I'm just curious if there's any indication there. Yeah, Barbados and OD1, totally lost it. Oh, Humanoid! So then that means it's... Because isn't Humanoid... Who is that? That's like a really fucking famous... Is it Beltram? Who is this? No, it's not. Brian Dugan's. Okay, so... I guess that's a remix of one of... or I guess that sample originally comes from a Humanoid track. At least that's what the suggestion is here. Nevertheless, wherever it comes from, it's a sample that's been around for a while, but I really do enjoy the sort of, down-tempo hardcore intensity. Like, tunes in this vein, they have a different intensity than more rip-roaring, up-tempo, just, fist-pumping type hardcore. It's more, like, the weight of it, and there's a stomp to it. It's like foot-stomping kind of hardcore. But I do love when the acid ignites on this one. It really feels like someone lights a wick, and then it just burns an acid explosion for the rest of the tune. But as I said, like, using this one as a final track, like that repeating echoed voice, it'd be like, damn, I feel like I gotta check over my shoulder now. Which for the Cenobite atmosphere, I suppose, is just about perfect. But either way, a cool tune. The other tracks on here are more in, again, the typical early hardcore vein in tempo. And indeed, I'm gonna react to them all. I think the next one I'm gonna do is the one that I've heard a few times. Like, once I discovered this, the tunes are on YouTube, and the one that I just immediately started listening to multiple times was the Rage Twins, so we'll come back for that. Do let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.